Let's get right into it. Level 1. The Oblivious. This is the lowest level, the least stupid among the stupid. They're so naive they're stupid, but they don't even know they're stupid. It's a kind of cute stupid. When you recount what they just did, they'll chuckle. Wait, was that me? Exactly, it's them. They just don't realize it until you say something. Not on purpose, not maliciously. It's just, my mind is in some parallel universe. You see them every day. Passengers on airplanes swinging their backpacks down the aisle, brushing past countless people without a second thought, colleagues carelessly pouring hot coffee into plastic cups and watching it melt, friends fumbling for their glasses while the glasses are on their heads, or oblivious individuals stepping out of the restroom with toilet paper dangling behind them, completely unaware. This stupidity state often arises when we lose focus and become distracted. They weren't trying to cause trouble, nor were they trying to be funny. It's just that sometimes they were on the wrong frequency. Level 2. The Common Sense Deficient. This is the type of person who checks if the pan is hot by placing their entire hand on it. Innocently used super glue to attach false eyelashes because we ran out of glue at home. They even stuck a fork into the hot electric oven to get the bread out quickly. The funny thing is, at that moment, they truly believed they had just come up with the smartest and most creative idea in the world. The truth is, they're not daring, nor are they creative. They just lack the little voice in their heads that most of us have, whispering at the last minute, "Wait, don't do that." Without it, every warning signal turns into an invitation. They'll pull the fire alarm just to see if it really rings. I'll stand on the swivel chair to change the light bulb instead of getting a ladder. They will touch the power outlet to check if there's electricity. And when they get electrocuted, they widen their eyes in surprise. For them, life is a series of trial and error, mostly error. Emergency room doctors could only sigh, as this type of person was always irregular. Level 3. The Confused. This is a group of people who speak with the innocent confidence of a child, but reason with the logic of a puppy. They're sweet, harmless, even very cute, until they start explaining something. They might insist that weak Wi-Fi is due to their phone being almost out of battery, or believe that eating a lot of ice will make them gain weight because ice has cold calories. Some people even confidently claim that GPS stands for Google Position System, and when you gently correct them, they widen their eyes, tilt their heads, and exclaim in confusion, "You mean that's not right?" What makes people laugh isn't that they're wrong, but the reaction afterward, a look of confusion mixed with a hint of hurt, as if you've just torn open a global secret. They nodded in agreement with you for 3 seconds, then went back to arguing that chocolate milk definitely comes from brown cows. Level 4. The Group Project Freeloader. They did nothing, didn't read any materials, couldn't even write a single line, but on the day of the presentation, they stood next to the whole group with a big smile, as if they were the soul of the project. It's a group project parasite, living off the sweat of others, but still taking the spotlight for themselves. In the office environment, they evolve into the type of colleague who shows up 5 minutes before the deadline, quietly inserts their name at the end of the file, and sends an email with the subject line, "Teamwork makes the dream work." When questioned, they always have a perfect script. "I was going to do it, but my internet is weak. My laptop automatically updated Windows. I thought someone else was doing that part already." This isn't exactly toxic stupidity. It's calculated lazy stupidity. They didn't sink the boat. They just sat still and let others row. And then when they reached the shore, they puffed out their chests with pride and told the whole world that they were the ones at the helm. Level 5. The Overconfident Idiot. This is the type of person who can turn any conversation into a seminar. No one invited them. They are self-proclaimed know-it-alls who insert themselves into everything to explain, even though their knowledge is only at the level of just. Watched a 5-minute clip on YouTube. That's the guy who claims to know how to fix cars because he once watched a tutorial video, the colleague who taught the IT team the opposite, saying, just restart the server and you're done. It sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? The most annoying thing isn't that they're wrong, but the way they're wrong with such dazzling confidence. They could flatten the entire room with just their certainty, silencing everyone, not through persuasion, but because people were too tired to resist. And when proven wrong, they don't admit fault, they just smile gently. Well,
that's what I said too.
Level 6. The Conspiracy Theorist. This isn't your average kind of stupidity. This is ambitious stupidity. They not only misunderstand, but they also create an entire alternative universe to prove that everyone else is wrong. When they encounter something unbelievable, they don't ask, how did that happen? And immediately asserted, someone is definitely behind this. For them, everything has a hidden power. The earth is flat. The moon is just a Hollywood film set, and streetlights are actually tracking devices. The problem is, they truly believe it. It's so detailed, he could give you a 30-minute presentation, complete with diagrams, arrows, and at least one Gary, who someone he knows saw firsthand. Every time you object, they just smile mysteriously. See? That's exactly what they want you to think. The foolishness here doesn't lie in a lack of understanding, but in the fact that they turn illusions into beliefs and see them as truth. They don't want to find the truth. They want to create it themselves. Because ordinary stupidity only gets one detail wrong, while ambitious stupidity gets the entire frame of reference wrong. Level 7. The Darwin Award nominee. This is a level of stupidity that transcends recklessness. It steps straight into legend. The type of person who says, hey bro, watch this, is a signal that something is about to happen. They weren't satisfied with small mistakes. They actively challenged even the laws of nature. That's the person who climbed over the zoo fence because they thought the do not climb sign was just a suggestion. The person jumped from the roof into the swimming pool and only realized mid-air that the pool was completely empty. The person ran headfirst toward the wild bear to take a selfie, and the genius of the charcoal stove inside the house because it's too cold outside. These action sequences often begin with laughter and end with the sound of ambulance sirens, and they still wore radiant smiles, believing they had just created the most glorious moment of their lives. Yeah, it's truly glorious. It's just a pity. Not in the way they imagined. Level 8. Transcendent Stupidity. This is the pinnacle, or rather, the abyss of stupidity. The type of person who believes their IQ is in the stratosphere, while the rest of humanity is crawling on the ground. That Einstein was only approximately correct, while they truly understood the universe. Anyone who disagrees is too blind to see the truth. They are the ones who dominate every part of Facebook comments, misspell words, but are full of academic authority. You can't argue with them, nor can you stay silent, because they'll speak louder, longer, and believe that volume is scientific evidence. The ignorance here is not just a matter of degree, but of scale. A normal fool might just touch a hot stove or block a supermarket aisle, but they argued with the physicist that gravity is fake, claiming to have disproven evolution because if humans came from monkeys, why are there still monkeys? Or boast that they invented perpetual motion in the basement, which is flooded because they wired it incorrectly themselves. And worst of all, they believe all of it with such absolute faith that it drowns out both their reason and the patience of others. That's a kind of stupidity that's not just wrong, not just foolish, but also socially destructive. The kind that makes you just take a step back, watch them ramble on for 2 hours, and then end with an insult to your profile picture. At that moment, you could only sigh. Oh, okay, buddy. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You officially understand more about the levels of stupidity than most people on this list. Now it's your turn. Comment below. What's the dumbest thing you've ever seen? Or be honest. What level are you at? And if you find this content both funny and insightful, please like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next videos.